Hey, 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 welcome back, guys. We are officially in episode 5 of the weekly series we've got going here. Still no name, but that's okay. Best things in life take a little time to come together sometimes. So this week, our episode actually comes from a cool conversation that Pete and I were having earlier this week about, pricing. And this actually came out of a conversation he was having with some buddies of his in relation to pricing a car for sale. And it kind of spurred on this whole conversation around, pricing and, who determines price and the market. So we've got some fun stuff to talk about today. What's going on, Pete?
What's up, brother? Good to be here, man. I liked your intro. That's my little catchphrase. Hey, 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 the real estate Pete here. Come on, man.
I know. I think you're rubbing off on me or something.
Cool, man. So let's get right into it, right? So pretty much, again, that's part of why we're doing this, right? You and I have conversations all the time about just all different kinds of things related to and around real estate and investments. So I have a buddy it may seem crazy to a lot of people, but he loves old Chevy trucks, man. I mean, like he sold his 1980 Suburban and he still talks about it every single day, how much he regrets it. So that being said, he came across this truck. It's like a 1990 Chevy pickup truck, right? And it was listed for $8,000. So he did his research and he was like, look, the Kelley Blue Book value on this thing is like $6,000. So long story short, he met the guy, made an offer. The guy wasn't willing to budge on his price. So just the other day, he put out in the group chat, hey, can you believe this guy just jacked his price up, $1,500? And I just put in the group chat, classic for sale by owner.
Yeah. And why did you say that?
So and again, not to knock for sale by owners, but it's just, to me, I knew this story, right? I'd seen it before because we see it in real estate all the time, right? This guy overpriced his truck, was getting lowball offers. So the logical next step, well, if I'm at 8 and I'm getting 6, if I go up to 9.5, then I should get 7 or 8. And we just know from being in the industry and working on the market, that's not how it works, man. Right.
And that was precisely my first, comment to you when you brought this up was, yeah, right. Like the market spoke that truck is roughly worth $6,000. And that's because the buyers who are actually the ready, willing, and able people who are saying, hey, here, take my cash in exchange. I want your truck, the thing that you've got up for sale, whether it be a house, a truck, anything. It's, the very basic principle of supply and demand, right? I mean, his truck is worth $6,000 no matter what his list price is, right?
Exactly, man. And, I have this conversation, I know you do too, with our clients, right? It's whether it's on the sell side or on the buy side, the fact of the matter is people say, well, I don't want to overpay for a house. Well, when we really boil it down to its simplest form, right? What is a house worth? It's what its market value is. And what determines that market value? It's the market.
Yeah. And it's funny because now thinking about it in relation to this guy's truck, right? What do you think might have happened if let's say he threw that thing up on Facebook Marketplace and instead of raising the price, he dropped the price to $3,000 and dangled this, nice looking Chevy truck that now every person that scrolls past that sees $3,000. Wow, that looks like a deal, right? And then all of a sudden,
absolutely,
the
man,
demand
you're piquing
shows
interest.
up.
You're getting people in there and saying, oh, well, he's only getting. Sorry,
yeah, keep going, man.
Lagging issues a little bit here, but no, that's exactly it, right? It's true with anything, right? When you think about a real estate auction, another thing is when I first started in this business, we were just coming out of that down market of the mid 2000s crash, and the buzzword was foreclosures, right? Everybody I talked to said, what about foreclosures? Can I buy a foreclosure? Can I buy a foreclosure? And what they were really asking is, can I get a deal on a property? That's really what they were asking. And I would have this conversation a lot that, hey, listen, the market, do you really want a foreclosure or do you want a deal? Because what we're seeing is foreclosures are not great deals right now, because what created that deal in foreclosures, right? It was an abundance. It was too many houses on the market that created these homes. Exactly, man. So it's just funny how you can see once you start to work in this industry, in this business, you see it all over, right?
Yeah. I mean, I still joke that, with real estate, I am dying to find just the right seller and just the right property to try this like $1 listing marketing thing out on, just the concept of like what would happen if you dangled a property out there for $1. And we've seen some like, interesting, gimmicky ways to market a property. But I really do think I've heard that there are agents out there that have executed on that plan. And it's the concept of dangle something out there that, roughly, let's say the home is worth roughly 500,000. But if all of a sudden you got that many eyes on it, I think there's potential there that you could drive that price up even higher just based on the demand. So
100%. And that's pretty much where the conversation went in the group chat, as I kind of mentioned and started talking about it a little bit, because then somebody chimed in and said, yeah, but the only downside to pricing at fair or below market value is that if you don't get any offers, then, now you have to go down or you have to sell under. But to me, that answer was really simple. Well, if you put it at a price and you're not getting offers, you're not at or below fair market value. It means even though you thought you were pricing at fair market value, the market has perceived your property above fair market value, which is true for a truck, which is true for an iPad on Facebook Marketplace, or which might be where mine is, or anything that has, goes out on the market for sale, right? I mean, it's just true throughout the board. It's just a really cool concept that it was brought from a pickup truck, translated into this conversation I was able to relate to, and kind of, I already knew what was going through that truck seller's head.
Well, and there's that fallacy of thinking like you have to bake in negotiation room. You don't need to bake in negotiation room. Like, if anything, we talk about it all the time with our sellers, is the idea that, besides just price, right? Like with real estate, you want to be able to negotiate the best terms. And the only way we can really do that is if you put something out there that is desirable to more than just one person. And then that's when the seller becomes the person in the driver's seat for negotiations, right? Like, and at the end of the day, the cool thing too, right? We don't have to sell, right? If that price isn't met and those terms aren't met, so maybe this guy with his Chevy pickup truck, maybe we should talk to him and see if we can consult him, take on his listing for a small cut of the deal, go into some car sales. But like, if he dangled it out there for $3,000, right? And he went full-fledged, marketed it in as many places as he could. I don't even know where you market a private party car anymore besides, I guess, like Auto Trader, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, as many places as he could get it out there at an aggressive price. Let's say the highest offer he ended up getting was $4,200. He can decide, what, as much as, I thought I would want to sell this, that price doesn't incentivize me to sell. And he's back to the same exact position as trying to price it high and thinking that 6 is a low offer. But at least the market was established, and now he knows he probably has a truck that's worth between $4,000 and $6,000 because the market spoke.
100%. And that's something I had to follow up with, in that group chat as well, is like, listen, saying that it's just, listed at or below fair market value, that is an oversimplification of it, right? Every seller, to your point, has different motivations and different reasons. And is the marketing, are enough people seeing it? So there's a lot that goes into that. But I kind of like break it down to, do you want to have a strategy or do you want to go by chance?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Are you just trying to take a chance on it and hope that somebody will come in and you can negotiate with them? Or do you want to have an actual proven strategy on how it'll work? And that to me is just really the difference.
Yeah, I think it's genius, man. It was a great correlation, and I was really glad, that you brought it up, because good conversation for this week. So, guys, as we come up on our 10-minute mark, sometimes we feel like we could just keep on talking, but hope you guys enjoyed this week's conversation about price and market. Again, if you've got questions, throw them at us. We'd love to interact with you guys. Thank you for watching. And Pete, until next week, thanks for some good conversation.
Absolutely, man. This is what we do. And hey, if anybody's got an old Chevy pickup truck, I got a buyer for you. So it doesn't even have to be a pickup, Suburban, but it's got to be Chevy. I'm pretty sure it's got to be Chevy.
All right, guys. Till next week.